Okay, so good evening, everyone. Okay, so let's start from the topic memory organization. To start the topic memory organization of 8051, I just want to give you a brief that we have discussed in my last session. Okay, so if you go to my last session, then you can see that I have discussed the basic important features of 8051. Okay, so in that basic important features of 8051, we have found that the key difference between microprocessor and microcontroller is that there are two different kind of memory devices, that is ROM and RAM, read only memory and random access memory. These two kind of different memory chips are integrated part of microcontroller, 8051 microcontroller. So we have also see that 4 kilobyte size of the ROM is the integrated part of 8051 microcontroller. 128 bytes of internal RAM, that is used for the data storing purpose, is also integrated part of that microcontroller. Okay, and we have seen that the ROM, that is internal read only memory, that is used for storing the code of program codes. So basically this is referred as code memory, whereas the internal random access memory, that is used for storing data. So that is this memory segment is referred as data memory. Okay, and we have also seen that we can also expand the size of the RAM or ROM, and there is a limitation. There is a limitation. The limitation is that we cannot increase the size of RAM or ROM beyond 64 kilobyte. And why this limitation is there? So the limitation is there because the length of address that a 8051 microcontroller can handle is 16 bit. Okay, and data that this microcontroller supports is 8 bit. So you understand that there are two different kind of RAM and ROM structure are integrated in the 8051 microcontroller. Also, we have the provision to increase the size of RAM and ROM, but the limitation of the size is up to 64 kilobyte. This is because the length of the address bit that the microcontroller can handle is limited up to 16 bit, because only 16 pins are used by that microcontroller to handle any address space, and using 16-bit combination we can only detect or locate the address space of size 64 kilobyte. That means 2 to the power 16 is nothing but 64 kilobyte of external or internal, whatever the size of the RAM or ROM structure. So from this conversation, we can conclude that though there is a provision for expand the size of RAM and ROM structure in 8051, but I cannot go beyond 64 kilobyte. Okay, and when I am trying to input some data into that RAM or ROM, I can give only the 8-bit length data, because this is a 8-bit CPU. Okay, Okay, so we understand this thing. Now, depending on this conversation, I am now going to do memory organization. Hence, in the memory organization, we can see that how these internal RAM and ROM structures are placed, which signals this microcontroller use to access this RAM or ROM structure, and how microcontroller is capable of supporting expansion of that RAM and ROM structure. So basically 3 points we will cover. First, the internal structure of this RAM and ROM structure in the microcontroller. Second, how which pins, which signals are associated with this RAM or ROM structures to complete the internal operations. And third, how the memory size will be expanded up to 64 kilobyte. These three phenomena we will cover. So first we see the program memory. So program memory. So I think I have already discussed this thing. So just to recap. So in the program memory, you see that it is a 4 kilobyte internal. Okay, but it is used not only used for program but also used for storing some data which will be fixed during a program execution. And 16-bit program counter is used to locate any location of the program memory. Okay, so this thing is very similar to the 8085 microprocessor. There also a program counter of 16-bit length is available that is used to locate each and every address of the memory space. So here also program counter having same 16-bit length is used to locate the address of the memory space. Okay, now it is talking about 4 kilobyte. Okay, but as the 4 kilobyte means you can convert that 4 kilobyte to 2 to the power formation, 2 to the power, so that you can see that 4 kilobyte is nothing but 2 to the power 12. Okay, so 2 to the power 12 means the range of address in the 4 kilobyte is is as given. You can see from this figure 00008, that means this is hexadecimal. This is the address of the first location of this ROM, and this is the 0FFF is the address of the last location of this ROM. Okay, so this is clear. So this is the thing that we are having internally in the 8051. Okay, now as there is a provision to increase this ROM size, so we can connect 64 kilobyte external ROM with this internal ROM. Okay, so this is the situation. In this figure you can see the situation is here in the first left one. I have connected a 64 kilobyte off chip ROM. Okay, where the starting address where the starting address is 00008. Okay, and end address is FFFFH. So as this is 64 kilobyte, okay, so you can understand that 64 kilobyte required 2 to the power 16. So you just convert 2 to the power 16 means 2 to the power 6 into 2 to the power 10. So 2 to the power 10 is equivalent to 1 kilo, and 2 to the power 6 is equivalent to 64. So that means this is actually 64 kilobyte. So 64 kilobyte requires 16 pins to locate each and every address. So for this is actually a combination of 16 bit pins 0000H to FFFFH. But here you can see the signal EA is an internal signal. This is also a pin of 8051 microcontroller. This pin value is here 0. Okay, so when that pin value is exactly 0, then only we can connect this external ROM with the microcontroller. So if I connect external ROM with the microcontroller and making EA value 1, then what will happen? Then then the next, that is when EA is 1 and I have connected a 64 kilobyte ROM, then the thing that will happen is shown in the right hand side. So EA is 1 and I have connected 64 kilobyte of ROM, of chip ROM. Okay, but you can see that when EA is 1, the internal ROM is used for storing the program code purpose. So what is the size of the internal ROM? 4 kilobyte. So what is the starting address? So starting address you can see also here, double star I have marked. So starting address is 0000H. What is the end address? End address is 0 triple F. Okay. So complete set of the internal 4 kilobyte on chip ROM is used when EA is 1. Then after this location, when microcontroller go to the next location, it will jump to the location 1000H of that off chip, that is not part of the system on chip. So this is off chip ROM. So what is happening here? It is, so you can see that when it is jumping to next location, that is 1000. So among 64 kilobyte of external off chip ROM, the first 4 kilobyte is ignored. So that is not used. So that things will happen. So com completely, if you consider these two figure, what is the complete address, size of the complete address? 64 kilobyte for the left figure. If I see the right one, here internally 4 and externally I am using 60. So it is also 64 kilobyte. But there is a condition, in the market you cannot have this kind of chip, memory chip, which has size of 60 kilobyte. You always have something in the multiple of 2 to the power. So 4 kilobyte, 8 kilobyte, 16, 32, 64, like this. So that means though I have shown here I am using of chip ROM of 60 kilobyte, it is not actually 60 kilobyte of chip ROM. It is actually 64 kilobyte. But I, as the initial 4 kilobyte I have not used during program execution, so I have not noted that part in this figure. So this is the architecture. This is the scheme. Okay. So basically this is the scheme of extended ROM. This explanation you need to understand. Okay, and this explanation is required to answer your question in the exam also. So question from this segment may be asked like this: what is the importance of the EA, that is actually E suffix A pin in 8051 microcontroller? When you set EA pin value to 1 and you connected a 64 kilobyte of ROM, then how that 64 kilobyte of ROM will be utilized by that microcontroller? Then you have to write down in 3 to 4 lines the explanation that I have said just now. Okay, and this explanation also written here, so you can easily go through this thing. So this is the thing in the ROM structure, and now the pins that are used. So this is the scheme. Now pins that are used. So pin. So how many pins are required here? Actually, you require 16 pins to locate each and every address location. So from where I am getting that 16 pin? So I am getting 16 pin from two ports. port number 0 and port number 2. So I'm getting I'm getting the 16 pins. How many pins we required to locate each and every address of that external ROM? Total ROM structure is 16. So 16 pins I required. So from where I am getting that 16 pins, I am getting the 16 pins from port 0 and port 2. In the port 0, I am getting the multiplexed address come data lines, just similar to the 8085. 87 to 80, and from port 2 I am getting the higher order address lines, that is A8 to A15. So this is also important. So what is the function of port 0 and port 2 if I ask you in the question, then your answer should be like this. It is not only used for accessing data during communication with external devices with microcontroller, it is also used as multiplex address cum data line for port 0, and it is also used as higher order address lines for port 2. So that will be the complete answer for the operation of port 0 or port 2. Okay, and then also ALE. So ALE is a pin having full form address latch enable. So this is the pin that is completely similar operation, does similar operation like 8085 microprocessor. So here ALE pin is used to demultiplex the 87 to 80 address and com data line. Okay, so operation is clear. So using ALE pin, I can differentiate whether 87 to 80 multiplex data lines acting as a address line or acting as a data line. And PSEN, that is an extra signal that is used here. Okay, and when PSEN is used, microcontroller understand that reading operation from the ROM is complete. Okay. Now I am just giving a brief of this structure that I have discussed. Okay, so here I have discussed that your size of internal ROM is 4 kilobyte. Internal ROM is 4 kilobyte. Anirban Chakraborty, your microphone is on. So your internal ROM size is 4 kilobyte. That means the address of the first location of this ROM is 40. Address of the last location is 0 triple F. Why it is 0 triple F? Because 4 kilo means 2 to the power 2 into 2 to the power 10. So power will be added. So you are getting 2 to the power 12. So 12 means 3 pins, 3 set of hexadecimal pins. So this is a 12 pin combination, 12 bit combination triple F. So first address of this internal ROM is 00008. Last address is 0 triple F. Now when you are setting EA equals to 1, then your first microcontroller will access the internal ROM. It will write data to the internal ROM starting from this address ending to this address. Beyond this address, when microcontroller wants to go, then it will go to next address is after 0 triple F is 1000. So what is happening? 1000 of external ROM. In the external ROM, which has size of 64 kilobyte, from that 64 kilobyte, we can access only 60 kilobyte. We cannot access full of 64 kilobyte here because internally we have already used 4 kilobyte. So from the external ROM, I can only use 60 kilobyte. So that makes you complete 64 kilobyte, because we cannot go beyond 64 kilobyte. If you go beyond 64 kilobyte, you will require not only 16 pins, it will require more than 16 pins. So that is not available in the 8051 microcontroller. That's why I cannot go beyond 64 kilobyte. So I can only use 60 kilobyte of the external ROM. So from the external ROM, from the address of 1000 to end address, I can access. So that will give me 60 kilobytes memory space, and internally I have given 4 kilobyte. That makes you complete 64 kilobyte internal ROM size. Okay, that makes you complete ROM size of 64 kilobyte, not internal, not external. That makes you a complete set of 64 kilobyte ROM size. There is also internal part, there is also external part. And the condition is here, the pin value of EA is 1. But when you change the pin value EA to 0, and you have already connected that external ROM with the microcontroller, then the microcontroller completely ignores the internal ROM. It will start from the first location of the external ROM, that is 0000H, and it will end at FFFFH. That means here also I am using only 64 kilobyte of ROM size, but I am not going into internal external part, because here complete address is external, but in this right hand side case, this there is some portion is internal and some portion is external. So already, so these two architecture completely depends upon the pin value of EA. So that is the thing. So I think it is clear. And I have discussed the how many ports. So 16 pins are required. From where you can, from where it will you will get that 16 pins value. Sneha Kumari has some problem, so you can write down your problem, because in which condition, which part you cannot understand. This is very means how you can easily understand that the total size of ROM can be used in 8051 microcontroller is 64 kilobyte, and there are two options. I can use total 64 kilobyte externally, and another option I can use some portion internal and some portion externally. So which pin will decide EA1, which pin will decide among these two architectures? Okay, okay. Shobhik, you can also join from laptop, no problem. Okay. So EA, so that is the EA1. So when I'm using EA equals to 1, when I'm using EA equals to 1, then you can see that EA is the pin value equals to 1 that will set by the user, external user, okay, and it will enable microcontroller to understand that microcontroller has to use both of the memory chip, internal and external. So in the internal it will use 4 kilobyte, in the external it will use 60 kilobyte. Okay, so in the internal it will use 4 kilobyte, so corresponding address is written in the right side, and and from when after when the internal one is complete, so I have reached microcontroller reached to the final location of the internal ROM, then microcontroller has to jump to the next location of the external ROM. So microcontroller, while jumping from 0FFF to next location, so microcontroller will jump to 1000H. So now my question is, As this is a 64 kilobyte ROM, so and microcontroller is jumping to 1008 location, what about the other address space below 1008 starting from 000008 of that of chip ROM? So that section is not used by the microcontroller. So this is the thing you need to understand. You can say you are some position 0 triple F jumping to the next location. Then 1000 is the starting location of the external ROM. Then what happened to address space, address location before 1000? You are not using it. Okay, you are just ignoring that thing. And what is the size of that ignoring section? Nothing but 4 kilobyte. So that thing. So I have written here 60 kilobyte. That means in the off chip I can use only 60 kilobyte, and I can use only 4 kilobyte of the internal chip. If I combine these two size, then I am getting a 64 kilobyte of memory space. So that is the thing. Okay. So next is data memory. So what is the size of the data memory? This data memory size is 128 byte. And how the data memory is divided? The data memory is divided into three parts. Which what is the parts? What is the name of these parts? The name of the parts is register bank, bit addressable memory, and general. There is vacant space for storing the data. Okay. So basically, data memory is the part of the random access memory RAM. Okay, and its size is 128 byte. So if I convert this thing into 2 to the power in the power of 2 in terms of 2's power, then I will get 2 to the power 7 bytes. Okay, so what is 128 byte? This is nothing but 2 to the power 7 byte. So 2 to the power 7 means how many bits are required to locate any location of this memory size of this RAM. I required only 7 bits. 7 bits, not 8 bits. 7 bits. So 0 to 6. So 7 bits. If you write 7-bit combination, then what you will have? You have 0. So starting will be you have 00, right? So 7-bit means 70. So what is the equivalent of 70 in the hexadecimal? 00. Okay. So this is the first address 00. And 7 1, so consecutive 7 1. If you convert consecutive 7 1 to hexadecimal, then what is the corresponding value? So if I convert this thing, I'm writing in the chat room box, to hexadecimal, then I get 7f, right? So you can see that I have used only 7 bits, and I'm making all the bits 1, so that I can get the final address of that memory and convert that thing into hexadecimal. Okay, so I am getting what? I am getting 7f. Okay, so this is the thing. So that means the internal RAM size is 128 byte, and that is equivalent to the memory space of of starting address 00 to final address 7f. Okay, so this 00 to 7f is further divided into three parts, right? The first part 00 to 1f for register bank. Second part, after 1f you will get 20 to 2f, that is your bit addressable memory. Then after 2f you will get 30 to end address. You are getting a section where you can put the data you use during program So arbitrary data, anything you can put it. So this is the space where you can put your data, but before that you are before that you are putting the value of bit addressable memory, and before that you are putting the register bank. So this is how your total internal RAM is divided. So size of the internal RAM is 128 byte. If I convert it to the hexadecimal, I am getting 7F. If I further divided this size of the RAM into three parts according to the 8051 architecture, then I am getting three section having address 00 to 1F for register bank, 20 to 2F for bit addressable memory. So why bit addressable memory? So I have already given you that view that in microcontroller, in every kind of microcontroller, you you can see that there is a bit addressable memory space available. What is bit addressable memory space? That means in this memory location you can store data as a bit, not as a byte. A byte means 8-bit combination, a nibble means 4-bit combination, a bit means a single bit. So here in this location 20 to 2F, you can store a data as a bit. So each bit having a memory address, right? That is the utilization of memory. Each location has the address. So that the complete address of this bit addressable memory is 20 to 2F. So from 20 to 2F each location. So how many locations are there? 20 to 2F, if you see, there are 128 location. Okay, so that 128 location can store 128 data, and each and every data has a memory space. That means you can copy that data from that memory space, but you can copy a one bit of information from that memory space. You can write one bit of information in that memory space, and this is very unique features. This is very unique feature for uh, for microcontroller. This is not available in microprocessor. Okay, so that is the thing. So uh, you just see that which things I have covered till now. I have covered the ROM, I have covered the RAM, I have covered the how RAM is also subdivided into three parts. Okay, now next I will I will discuss little bit about the means this is actually I have seen this figure that I have also divided, shown you how the bank registers are made. So bank registers, so this is actually register bank. So how many registers are there? So this is not a good question. How many registers are there? The good question is how many banks are there? Register bank means how many banks are there? So there is a four banks: bank 0, bank 1, bank 2, bank 3. So in each and every bank there is a 8 registers are there. Okay, so this is the answer. There are four banks and each bank has 8 register. So total count of the register is 32. Okay, and the location is 0 to 1, 00 to 1F. So 00 to 1F means 00 to 07, 08 to 0F, 10 to 17, 11 to 18 to 1F. So this is the address of each bank. So you can easily calculate. So calculation of the address is easy. 00 to 1F. So if I convert 1F into decimal and divide it by 4, then I can easily get the each, that is nothing but equals to 32. So 00 to 30 means 31, 00 to 31 means 32. That means by 4 means 8. So each bank having a 8 space. 00 to 07 means 8 space, 08 to 0F 8 space, 10 to 17 8 space, 18 to 1F 8 space. Okay, so this is the thing about bank, register bank. And then uh, Then I have shown here the bit addressable location, that is from 20 to 2f. So 20 to 2f is a bit addressable memory. Each bit has its own address. So this is the unique part. In the 8085, we always see that we are dealing with the 8 bit at a time data. We are not dealing with a single bit. So we are putting a data of 8 bit length into some memory location. So that memory location is holding a length of 8 bit data. But here the memory location is holding a single bit of data. And what is the memory address for that location? This is this is this is fixed. This is not variable. This is fixed. 20 to 2f. 20 to 2f. So address location between 20 to 2f is a bit addressable memory. Here each and every bit has its own address. As each memory location contain 8 bit, so 20 to 2f. Each how many address space are there? 20 to 2f, 16. Okay, 16, and each address location can have 8 bit data. So this is the normal architecture of any memory space, because in 8051 we have already seen that it is a 8 bit CPU. That means it can handle a data having 8 bit length at a time. So its memory location, in each memory location maximum length of data I can put is 8 bit. So in here also in the 20 to 2f, so there are 16 memory locations, and each and every memory location having a data of 8 bit. But so how many bits are totally, how many bits are there? 16 location having 8 bit data means 128 bit. Okay, so 128 bits are there. So how many address I required to locate each and every bit? So we required 00 to 7f. That location, that is the address of each and every bit. Okay, so graphically, when I show you, you will easily understand. So here is the things. So this bit addressable memory location starting from 20 ending to 2f. So in the right side you see this is 20, this is 2f. So how many locations we have? 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, then 2a, 2b, 2c, 2d, 2e, 2f. So 16 locations we have, and each locations I can put a data having 8 bit length. Okay, so I am putting a data having 8 bit length. Okay, so now, as this is a bit addressable memory space, so what is the address of the first data bit in the in the address location 20? So first, this is a bit D0 having address 00, 01, 02, 03, 04, 05, 06, 07. So that means if you want to go to the location, uh, if you want to go to the location 02 of this bit addressable memory location, then you have to specify in your program that you are working with the bit addressable memory. So during programming during program code, there is a provision to specify in which memory location you try to go, program memory or data memory. Okay, so you there you specify you want to go to data memory. Further you specify you want to go to the bit addressable memory segment of that program data memory. Then you specify the address 2000 or 2002. Then it will locate the location here. Here you can see the 02 location. So this way the addresses are increased. So 002 final address you are getting at this location. This is the 8 bit. So final bit is here. You can see 7f. So starting from 00 ending at 7f is the address of each and every bit, but 20 to 2f is the segment address of that segment. So 20 is the address of the segment. Then you have to specify which bit you want to go. 21 is the address of the segment. Then you specify which bit you want to go. Okay, now if you using 21 and suppose you want to go to 03, then program will give you a error because 03 is not part of the segment 21. It is the part of 20, segment 20. So you need to be, means you need to understand this thing, because this is the fixed architecture. So if you now if you try to give a location 0b, then you need to understand that it is in the segment of 21. Okay, so manually you can calculate it. Okay, and it is also given in the specimen copy of 8051. Okay, so there you can also see this thing address. So from that you can easily find out which segment and which address location is there. So this is actually the thing, that is bit addressable memory segment. Next is your backend data location. So there you can put general purpose data storage location. So just you put anything there. So this is actually our backend space. So this is the end of the data memory section. So in the end of data memory section, we have seen that in the data memory section actually has a multiple use. I can use data memory section as a register bank. I can use the data memory section as a bit addressable location. I can use the data memory section as a normal storing of data. So I need to know which locations is specified for register bank. I need to know which location is specified for bit addressable memory part. I need to know which location is specified for random data. Okay, and I have seen that the further division of the bank register bank locations. Okay, I have seen how the bit address, how to go to the bit address through segment address. So this is the left, this 2022F is the segment address. Then you have to mention the bit address. So bit address for a segment is fixed. If you try to find out a wrong bit address from a, means if you try to find out a bit address from a wrong segment, then program will give you a error. So it cannot face that value. Okay, so this thing we understand. Next is the final thing, that is how we can add. So in this figure we can see that how we can add two external RAM. So you can see here 64 kilobyte, 64 kilobyte. So I have to add 64 kilobyte. I have no provision of adding something 60 kilobyte ROM. Okay, so this is not available in the market. So 64 kilobyte I have added a 64 kilobyte RAM. Okay, and this is the left hand side is the 8051 microcontroller. So this is actually interfacing of external RAM ROM memory with the microcontroller. So here as per our discussion, we have discussed that internally there is a RAM and ROM having a different size, but when we can connect a maximum 64 kilobyte size of RAM and maximum 64 kilobyte size of ROM. Okay, so you can see here the how many pins are there. So basically there are four blocks. One block is 8051, one block for RAM, one block for ROM, and one block for latch. Okay, so if you just go in the 8085, you can just imagine the a function of ALE. ALE is something connected to a latch, and a latch output is the your address, lower order address. Okay, so basically AL is going, this signal is going to the latch, the multiplexed 80 to 87 is going to the latch. Then when AL is high, only when AL is high, I am getting the lower order address. And this lower order address is going to which locations? It is going to these two memory locations. So this is pointing some location at the RAM, simultaneously same location is pointing out the ROM. Okay. Then you can see that there is a dedicated address bus for higher order A8 to A15. It is also locating a same location in this RAM, same location in this ROM. The thing is that by making ALE high and giving value to 80 to 87, giving value to A8 to A15, I can locate same location into this two RAM or ROM. Now thing is that which one is enabled. I can locate the location, but if the chip is not enabled, it is not accessible. So there is the enable pin, PACN. Through this pin, I can enable this. Okay, ROM. So basically, in the ROM, there we don't have anything to write. Okay, it is already written there. Only the reading is used. So for the reading purpose, I have to use OE, means output enable. So the pin name is output enable. So it will enable the output of data from this ROM. So it is connected with the PACN. So PACN is connected with the ROM, and it will give. So when PACN status will be 0, then it will enable and data from this ROM will be readed, right? And so that means at a time I cannot access these two things. If I want to access, yes, if I want to access, then I have to make PACN on 0. I have to give RD bar WR bar also. But the thing is, if you want to access both of this chip at a time, though there are two different kind of address buses are there, but the data bus is common, right? So at a time the data, if the RAM is sending some data, ROM is sending some data, then there will be a collide. So to avoid that collision, microcontroller at a time only enable any of them, right? Not both of them. So by setting PACN, you can enable ROM, then you take out the data. So data will be copied at the this data bus. So you can see data bus and 80 87 is same. So from this thing, data is coming out from this ROM and available to the microcontroller. Okay, the condition is PACN is 0, so it is enabled. And now making PACN 1, so making so this will be the ROM is totally off. So I am making RD bar and WR bar. These two pins I am using and making this RAM is enabled. So output enabled, right. Okay. So uh, sorry. So in case of RAM, we can read, we can write. So suppose we can write, we want to write. So I have to enable WR bar, not the RD bar. Suppose I want to read, so I have to enable RD bar, not WR bar. Okay. Simultaneously, we never do this two work simultaneously. Read, write at a time, one at a time. I can do it. So suppose I am reading, so I have to enable RD bar. It will enable this chip. Then I have already given the address in this two thing. I have already make ALE high, so proper address location is there. From that location, I can copy the data into this data bus, and it is available at the microcontroller. Okay, so this, so the thing is, in this in interface, we can see that how microcontroller is communicating with external, how microcontroller is communicating with external ROM or RAM. So so this is the thing. Now you can also see that I have written here port 0 for 80 to 87. So this is the correct thing I have written, because port 0 is 80 to 87. I have written port 2 for A8 to A15. So also this is correct, because port 2 is dedicated for A8 to A15 also. And here for PAC, not for PACN, RD bar WR bar, RD bar WR bar, it is written here port 3, because PACN there is a dedicated pin there for PACN, but for read or write port 3 is used. So I have written port 0, port 2, port 3. Okay, so there is a purpose, because port 0 is associated your 80 to 87, port 2 is associated your 8 to A15, and port 3 is associated with RD bar WR. Okay, so after this, what I have done, I have connected one ROM, I have connected one RAM and ROM. And how to connect anything to microcontroller, I have to connect address lines, I have to connect data lines. So which address lines I have? I have A8 to A15 address line. So I have just make these lines, this connection. And what I have 80 to 87, so I have to make this connection. So this, but 80 to 87, as this is multiplex, so I have to take one thing out from this. So how to take out one thing from this? Using ALE and latch. So I have to use a block by name latch, and ALE I am giving as an input signal. So when ALE is 1, the output of this latch is simply the address. So I have connected the address to this, to RAM and ROM. Now when ALE is low, so the output, there is no output from the latch. So means latch, there is previous output, latch is holding its previous output. Okay, so I am, when I am making ALE low, that means suddenly the content of A0 to A7 does not go to the 00, it will hold the previous value. Okay, so that proper address is available at these two pins, two address buses. Okay, this address bus, A0 to A7, this address bus. And at that moment, what I am doing, I am enabling any of this RAM or ROM chip. I am by PSEN I can enable ROM. So if I enable ROM, then that data, so complete address I am getting from this line A8 to A15, and from this line A0 to A7, and from that complete address I am going to some new location and copy the data, and the data is available through this address data bus to microcontroller. Or I am enabling the RAM using read or write signal. When I am try to read something, I am enabling the RAM through read pin, and these read or write pins are part of port 3. That's why I have written port 3 here. So read pin enabling the OE, output enable pin of this RAM, and complete address is available. After that, I am taking out that data and available at the microcontroller. Or when microcontroller try to write the data, so the microcontroller is sending some data, so that is also available at this point. Once I am getting the complete address and I am enabling the RAM using write bus, that data will be written to that complete address location. So that is the thing for the interfacing of external RAM and ROM. So two way I have discussed, forward way, backward way. So I think it is clear. So basically, for memory segment, it is up to this. Okay, so if I just take a recap, so I can tell you that in the memory segment, you emphasize the organization of the memory, how ROM and RAM are organized, what is the internal structure of ROM and ROM, which pins are associated with its operations, which ports are associated, which pins ALE, PSEN, how the internal structure of the data memory is further divided into register bank, bit addressable, and normal random data. Okay, and how anyone can go to the any address of this, from using bit addressable memory location. What is the segment address? What is the bit address? What is the limit of the, means what is the combination of the bit address? So here in these 4 lines, what I have written, I have written the address of the bit 0. Bit 0 means this 00 of 20h byte. So 20h byte is the segment address where I can get the bit 0. The address is 00, and 20h byte can, that 20h, that location can hold a data of 8-bit length starting from address 00 to 07. Similarly, if I go to the last line 2f, that segment address, here starting bit 0 will have the data having address 78, and final address is 7f. Why 78 7f is coming here? Because we are using 16 memory location, and each memory location can have a data of 8-bit length. That means we are having 8 into 16, 128 bit of data in this total segment. So 128 bit of data is nothing but your 00 to 7f. So that means maximum address, that is 7f, you are getting at the 7th bit of twice f memory location. Okay, and starting address you are getting at the bit 0 of 20h memory location. So 20h 20 2 2fh is also a memory location. So to differentiate, I'm saying this is actually a segment memory location. So this is these all are actually a single segment. 2F is a segment location, 29, 28, like this, and in that segment you have 8 bit location. Each and every bit having a different address. So this is the architecture. Next, this interfacing. This is in this interfacing you can see how we can connect external RAM and ROM with the 8051. Okay. This is the architecture for this is the interfacing circuit for that purpose. So today is up to this. Okay. So there will be I think one or two class required to complete the next part of this microcontroller. Okay. And after microcontroller we just have a brief, very brief of another microprocessor, that is sorry, 8086. A very brief, means only one class, I think, just a brief, just a overview, because if I don't say this thing to you, then the significance of the subject will be missed, because I have to say the microprocessor, I have to say the microcontroller, their basic operations. Okay. And I have to link this course to the upper level. So I'm just linking that thing through 8086 to the upper level microprocessor. So I required minimum one class, maximum two class for that purpose. So mostly 3 to 4 classes are required to complete all these things. Okay, then we'll emphasize some in-depth concept of this subject. So just the thing that I want to say. So better now you just write down your ID here. Okay, just write down your ID in the chat box, and then you can leave. And have you got your semester result?